Welcome back to the Independent Roadmap, where we discuss all things independent insurance agency. I'm your host, James Roberts, one of the regional vice presidents for MIAA and SIAA. And with me is John Scheer, the other regional vice president with MIAA and SIAA. Now, over the last couple of podcasts, we've talked about kind of an introduction into who we are. We've also talked a little bit about MIAA. And in this one, we want to get more deep into SIAA. So SIAA makes up a lot of stuff, right? It's the number one aggregator in the U.S. It was originated kind of in the Northeast, like New Hampshire area in the early 80s. And what happened was carriers started taking away commission and other things from insurance agencies, right? Nothing new. That's what they're still doing today. So what the owner recognized is, hey, if we aggregate our premium, we put it together, it gives us leverage and more buying power with the carriers and more negotiating power. And so that was kind of the start of SIAA. It officially formalized in 1995 in New Hampshire, where it is headquartered today. We have around 5,200 members across the U.S., and we aggregate around $18.1 billion in premium. So that's just really a high level of SIAA. Under SIAA, they have 49 master agencies. MIAA is just one of those master agencies where we cover the northwest part of Missouri, the eastern half of Kansas, Iowa, Nebraska, the Dakotas, and the northern part of Minnesota. And so with that, I'm going to turn this over to John. John, talk to us a little bit, because we do a lot for our agencies. Talk to us a little bit about the technology side.
Absolutely. Yeah, if we want to talk about SIAA, we could extend this podcast for well into the night. But one of the nice things about us is technology is big, especially with independent agencies. Everybody's trying to get the edge. One of the things right now is everybody's hearing about AI. How do I capture AI into my agency? How do I make things more utilized? Well, we saw some advantages from the standpoint of working with an AI company, and most people do. They work with an AI company, whether it's ChatGPT or whether it's Copilot, whatever it may be. But SIAA went to the next step. What we did is we purchased an AI company, and instead of saying, hey, guys, build this platform for us, we bought the company and said, hey, build this platform. Agency IQ is what we call it, that helps our independent agents. So it is driven exclusively by what the members want. So now we have a technology platform that is AI-based that helps the independent agents understand what's going on. We also have another feature that we call our tech stacks. One of the things that when you get into the independent side is there's all these different vendors that are putting software out there. We have specific vendors that we work with. Now, everybody goes, well, you're just going to add people to your platform. We do not. The vendors we work with are referred to us by our members. So our members are actually using this technology prior to us ever adding it to our platform. So to be a vendor, we have some of the largest discounts in the industry, but these vendors have been tried by our 5,500 plus members. And I think that speaks volumes, because now you're getting a quality product, and we have members that can testify that, hey, it does what it's supposed to be doing. James, you want to talk a little bit about how we go about finding different markets for our agents?
John, markets and market access really is kind of one of the biggest needs, especially for somebody who's starting scratch or for a smaller agency who needs market access. And we do that through a couple of ways and a couple of channels. One of the things that is unique with us is we really focused on direct appointments. And these direct appointments are relationships and contracts that your agency goes into. It's not MIAA, it's not SIAA, so it's controlled by you. And so those are direct appointments. And we have all the top carriers, right? We like to say we have 50 plus strategic partner carriers, but we also have more than that. We've got relationships with E&S providers. We got relationships on what we call our market finder, where you can go out and get those direct appointments day one with us. So I like to think of Hagerty, the RPSs, the CRCs, the RTs of the world. You can go out and get those relationships from day one. Simply Business, We got PathPoint, where you can go online and quote your own E&S. And then we've also established our own MGA through what's called Exchange, and that's also available. And so when it comes to markets, right, we are a P&C and bond business, and we have, like I said, 50 plus strategic partners, but we've got beyond that. And then we also have access to life and health. And so when you include life and health in the relationship that we have with Crump, that number jumps to over 200 carriers that we have relationships with that are available to your agency. John, I know we've spoken very briefly about SIAA, and there are so much more that we can talk about. And we're going to get to a lot of those things over the course of our podcast. We don't want this to just be SIAA because that's who we are, but we are going to pepper things in when it matters and when we're talking specifically about that. So John, tell us, how can we reach you?
You can reach out to me. I'm on LinkedIn at John Scheer, SCHEER. You can email me at John.Scheer, SCHEER, at MIAAinsurance.com, all one word, or call me directly, 402-852-8486 if you have any questions or anything that you have curiosity about us.
Yeah, and you can reach me. I'm also on LinkedIn, James Roberts-KC, and you can call or text 816-401-7417, and we'll catch you next week.